Okay. All right, we good now. I was all messed up, all jacked up. Let me get some tunes on. Hold up. Adjust the mic. I need somebody to give me the clear for takeoff. You know what I'm saying? Sound check. I fixed the audio. Forgot to unmute the mic. Now let me know now. I need somebody to let me know if the video was cool, if the audio is cool. Somebody let me know. All right, I'm getting comments. We good. We good. That's what I'm talking about. Make sure my mic ain't peaking. Is the music too loud? Somebody let me know. Is the music too loud in this piece? Runway is clear. I like to hear that. Good. Audio good. Video check. Video check. All right. Shout out to all the early people. Here goes some coffee for you. Have a sip. That's nice and fresh. Nice and fresh. Fresh brewed and everything. See that? It's the motivation mug. Yeah. All right, let's hop right into it. I'm not expecting a huge crowd tonight. Then when they just playing football or something, Gucci video is cool. Good balance on the music. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, I heard like that's playing football or something like that. You're seeing a lot of noise. This is a live stream. I don't care about no ISO. Hold up, man. Nah, look, man. I'm showing correctly exposed, dog. Don't come in here with that nonsense. It's too late for that. You know what's crazy? Somebody just said the same thing. Maxwell House. Yo, I don't drink no Maxwell House. And ain't no noise. I'm actually overexposed. By 3/4 of a stop. So don't come in here with that nonsense. Anyways, here's a sip of coffee for you. We gonna talk tonight. I got it in the motivation mug. Let me give my first shout out to my dude Turf Therapy. Hey bro, we gonna line our live stream up, I promise you. Just be mad hectic. Let me adjust my AirPods, hold up. All right, back. Somebody said the Rams suck. I don't watch football.
Well, they just made it into the Super Bowl.
They just made it into the Super Bowl? You know what else made it into the Super Bowl? Got him. All right, let me go through this roll call, man. Let me go through these comments. Big shout out to my guy Turf Therapy. First one in here. Yo, email me, man, so we can line up the stream. Big shout out to Turf Therapy. Before we get started, forgot to say this part. Before y'all come in here asking me what camera am I using, okay, the description is wrong because I changed cameras. I'm filming right now with the A7IV, but everything else is the same. Microphone, the lighting. This stream is sponsored by Ecamm. Well, I shouldn't say sponsored, but Ecamm is providing us with the streaming service. So if you got Mac, you got to try out Ecamm. There's a link in the description. Listen, you don't need capture cards. You don't need none of that crap. You just plug in your camera as long as it's a modern camera. Hey, and it pops up. Boom. Overlays, you can do all of that with Ecamm. Link is in the description. Before y'all ask me about music, link is in the description. Epidemic Sound. That's all I use. Music, sound effects. Get you a free 30-day trial. The LUT I'm using for this saucy look, that's my LUT. This one is called Drama. You can grab that 8-pack. Link is in the description if you want to support the stream. Also, super chats are always welcome. I haven't blessed nobody this year. I think it's time. Actually, I did. But I usually take some of these super chat proceeds and I do something nice with it for somebody else. Like, you know, giving somebody some gear or something like that. Plus it helps, keeps the lights on, feeds the babies and all that stuff. So listen, all of the production details are in the tweet below before y'all come asking me for all of these for all of these details. Now have a sip of coffee and let's get into this freaking roll call. Let me start at the top. Turf Therapy, what up? Hey, if you in here, be sure to drop your location so that I know who you are and where you from for the roll call. Do it now. Don't be here watching me like a creep and don't do it. Do it now. By the way, for those that are asking, this is not no freaking Folgers. This is Starbucks Pike Roast, fresh brewed, fresh ground, I should say first, and fresh brewed. This mess right here is delicious. Now let's get with the roll call. My man's Floyd's Tech Review up in the house, man. What up, Big Floyd? Raphael Ludwig, what up, man? We got to line up our stream also. You got to message me back, man. Just jumped on the Sony train with the FX3 as a longtime Canon user. Really, really liking it. Happy Sunday. Hey, we going to talk about this, man. We going to talk about this. Canon has kind of strike back. But we're going to talk about that in a second. My man, Icons RC, what's happening? My homeboy, thanks for coming through. Mr. Camera Junkie, what's up, man? Long time no see. Hope you're good. Icons RC's again. Oh, y'all having a whole conversation. Excuse me. I hope you cracking fresh beans. Yes, this is fresh ground, all right? Looking forward to the live. Well, we here now, baby. I did threaten somebody in the stream. I said, like this stream, or somebody getting slapped. And thankfully, the stream got liked. Because Floyd's Tech Review, yo, he was going to get it. Like, I was going to smack the crap out of him. But thankfully, we didn't have to do that. But Floyd, you was going to get it. Digital Slang in the building. What's up, dude? Mike Jimenez, no more tight shirts here. Man, the shirt is tight today. I don't know if you see that? Man, that motherfucker's tight. Left Hook Terry. You know, I'm actually going boxing tomorrow. Dubai in the building. Wow. Shout out to you for coming through. It always amazes me how people from around the world end up in this live streams. Crazy. You should be in front of that truck in the pic. Well, listen, I'm going to be honest with y'all. That's an old pick, all right? I have since traded in that SUV and got a truck. But I wasn't about to, like, I ain't had no saucy pictures to use for a live stream, so I just used that one. But, hey, respect, okay? Germany, hey, fun fact, yo. I was actually born in Germany on a military base. My oldest daughter's name, my middle daughter, her name is Germany. Named her from where I was born at. I've always been a U.S. citizen, though. No audio, yeah, we fixed that. We good. All of these are the sound checks, audio. All right, let's go. We good. Music great. Everything is great. Here you are with this noise comment. Ought to wrap you up for that, man. Don't spill coffee on my white shirt. Is my white balance off? Because this joint gray. I don't spill coffee. Esther Shooter, what's happening? It's too late for that nonsense in here. You disrespectful for that, Regina. How dare you come in here slandering your boy? I don't drink no Maxwell House. That's struggle coffee. That's the coffee you drink when you ain't got no good coffee left in the house. That's the coffee that been up in the cabinet for 6 months that you only touch when you run out of good coffee and you fiending for some coffee. Game's over. Crispy AF. I like to hear that. Somebody said Rams suck. I wouldn't know, but my truck does not suck because I have a Ram. So don't be disrespectful. Terry ain't trying to hear that noise. No. See, y'all, I feel like y'all disrespecting me, yo. Y'all being funny. I don't drink no freaking Folgers, man. And I used to, but that was before I stepped up my barista game. I only drink fine quality now. No, I actually don't. I don't watch football. I'm going to tell you why I don't watch sports. All right? I knew somebody was going to ask this. The reason I don't watch sports, and this is a transparent moment. Y'all know I keep it real. About like 6 or 7 years, no, maybe like 8 or 9 years ago, I was chalked. Like, didn't have no money, didn't have a car, didn't have a job, called myself working for myself. Business was terrible, or either I wouldn't say business was terrible. I was a terrible businessman. So what ended up happening is I used to sit around and I would watch basketball. And I'm talking about game after game after game, day after day after day, 82 game season, regular season, playoffs, finals. And it dawned on me one day, how am I going to be complaining about how broke I am and how I don't have no money and how it's everybody else's fault? But I'm sitting here investing 3 hours minimum a day into watching other grown men, successful, rich grown men play basketball. How does that even make sense? So one day I had an epiphany and I said, you know what? I can't sit around watching other people be successful while I'm sitting here being a freaking bum. So that day I said, you know what? When you get set, when you write, when you got everything in order and you got time to actually sit down and enjoy it without it taken away from your own success, then you can watch sports again. But until then, you sound crazy. You sound crazy sitting here crying broke, but you spending all of this time watching other men play sports. And that was 8 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Ever since I broke the habit, I never felt like I was missing nothing anymore. Obviously, I missed it at first. And don't get me wrong. If a basketball game or a football game come on TV, I like boxing a lot. I ain't gonna lie. But if one of them come on TV, okay, I'll watch it. But I can't consume myself anymore with the lives of other rich grown men when I'm not successful yet. That don't make sense. So that's why I don't watch football. Happy Sunday. Ecamm is legit. Hey, 4K streaming is easy. I know y'all think live streaming is difficult, yo. I literally have a camera plugged up and a microphone plugged up. That's it. In my computer. Ecamm is goated. Link is below. Only problem is it's only for Mac users. I wish they would get it together, but you know, don't nobody don't nobody care about Windows machines. Don't blame me. Blame the messenger. All right, let's get into it. Thoughts on the Sony A7C for content creation. I'll address this right now. I love the A7C. In fact, I just recommended my dude Icons RC. He in the chat, the A7C. It's a fantastic little camera, yo. You can get one right now for like $1,600. And honestly, it's a great full frame camera. It's got a flippy screen. It's got the newer autofocus system. It's got your picture profiles. Like, it's just a great camera. The only thing I wish it had, and we got to be realistic, the camera's almost 3 years old now. The only thing I wish it had was the upgraded active track stabilization. But yeah, it's a great camera. I would say if you got another $1,000, the A7IV is probably the better option. But if you ain't trying to spend that bag, totally get it. A7C is a great option. And honestly, man, we get so caught up on all of this camera hype. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I got a quick question.
Yeah.
Somebody from Cleveland won $3 million on the lottery and ain't turned it in yet. It wasn't you, was it?
Nah.
I'm just checking.
Nah. She said my wife said somebody from Cleveland won $1 million, $3 million, and they didn't turn it in yet. And she questioned it wasn't me or not. lottery. If I won the lottery, I would still be streaming. I ain't gonna lie. But anyways, let's get on with it. My man Simply Pops in the building. What's happening, homie? Hello, Terrell. Is that a country or place or what? Terry, did you mean that? Like, I know I look like Gerald Undone. Like, we get that similarity a lot. So is that a mixture between Terry and Gerald? I'm lost. I'm confused. You already know, out here. Malaysia in the house. Malaysia, thank you for coming through. And we still on the roll call, y'all. If y'all here, drop your location. Don't be in here staring at me like a creep without saying nothing. Drop your location. Big shout out to Malaysia in the house. I feel like I saw a super chat somewhere and I missed it. Oh, I did. Okay, I did not forget about that. We gonna get there. Straight out of Florida, Maine. Shout out to Lorenzo Long in the house. Thank you for coming through. Madison, Wisconsin, Regina. Dirty Jers, Digital Slang. Houston, Texas in the building. LA in the building. Cleveland, obviously in the building. Charlotte in the building. Simply Pops, New York. Hey, I need to bring Simply Pops on, man. I love the New York accent. Like New York, Jersey area. Like everything y'all say is just raw. Yeah, they could be like, it's cold outside. They be like, yo, son, my man's, it's cold outside. Feel me? Word the mother, kid. It's a horrible what I just did. But y'all get it. From a town called none of your goddamn business. I respect that. But now I think you the police. Why everybody else in here telling us where they from, and you got to come in here, Sean, and not tell us where you from. You the police, man. Shout out to the police. I'm kidding. Dallas in the house. Lucas in the house. South Carolina in the house. I used to stay in South Carolina. Love it there. Great Britain in the house. Liverpool. Oakland in the house. David B, what up? Man, you looking extra swole in your thumbnail. I'm about to kick you out this stream, man. You in here looking too swole, and I feel threatened. You about to get out of here, my guy. Elijah, thank you for the super chat. First super chat of the night. Elijah, let me say this. Thank you so much for the super chat. Super chats to me mean the world. It doesn't matter if they're $1 or $1 million. The fact that somebody who works hard for their money likes what I do enough to say, you know what, I want to support this channel monetarily. I want to support Terry and his family monetarily. That means the world to me. So thank you very, very much. I greatly appreciate it. Sounds like a hipster drink. I don't know what you talk about. Shout out to the crop sensors in the house. Let me get the crop. I got the crop right here. I got that thing on me. Big boy. That's the ZVE10 plus that 24 to 70 millimeter gangster mode. Y'all know how I get down. You can have a sip. Take a sip out the motivation mug. You can have a sip. All right. I'll let you have enough. Give me my coffee back. Let's get through the rest of these. Let's get through the rest of this roll call so we can get into the meat and potatoes. Yeah, show Terry your love with a thumbs up. What are y'all doing? Why are you not liking this stream? Lake Charles, Louisiana. North of Charlotte, Lake Norman. You tripping. I don't know what that is. It looked like you are a porn bot and you need to go and beat it. How you feeling about them Bengals? I don't know, man. I don't watch football. I just went on a super big tangent on why I was a bum and I stopped watching football because it was just making me more of a bum. So I stopped watching sports. Honestly, the only sport I still watch is boxing. I've always been fascinated by boxing. Tried my hand at it. Didn't, I wasn't dedicated enough, but, I'm a big fan of boxing. All right, question. 24 to 135 f4 power zoom, it's a great lens, or 24 to 105 f4 standard zoom. brand new for the FX3. Mostly YouTube studio work. A splash of film in my daughter's cheer competitions and hunting. I'm gonna say to go with the 24 to 105 f4. My dude Jason Morris just did a video on why that is the perfect lens for the A7IV. I've never been into that power zoom nonsense. I like nobody who does serious video work power zooms. Like it looks so freaking amateurish sitting there with a $5,000 camera setup, zooming in and out like an old digital camcorder. Stop it. Get you the 24 to 105 f4 if you want a great all around zoom. That's one of Sony's sharpest lenses, man, for zoom. First film first productions, man. Thanks for coming through. What's up? NC. My guy knows that is a struggle coffee. The what is that? Folgers, Maxwell House. Only bots drink that. I'm a camera junkie and fan of yours. Keep doing what you do. Hey, let me tell y'all something. It's so dope with YouTube that, all right, here's another moment of transparency, right? It's not cool to be a tech nerd. It's just not. But I always been in the nerdy stuff, man. You know, I did pretty much everything. I tried my hand at rapping, sports, college. Almost went to the military. I hate when people say almost because it ain't no such thing as you almost went. Either you did or you didn't, but I almost did. But one thing that always stuck with me is trying to motivate people, and also my love for gadgets, tech, photography, making videos. And although I love tech to me has gotten kind of sterile, but no matter how many cameras I review, no matter how many lenses I review, I never get sick of cameras because it's just so much complexity to photography, video making. I hate calling myself a filmmaker. Like, there's nothing more snobby to me than like, oh, I'm a filmmaker. Shut up. You make videos. I call people who make films, those in Hollywood, those are the people who make films. Unless you are on a professional set or amateur film set, I don't know. I just say, when people ask me what I do, I'm not a filmmaker. I make videos. That's just me. No shade to anybody who calls himself a filmmaker, but that's just a little too snobby for me. FX3 or FX6 for overall without the vlog? Ooh, great question. Me, my dude CJ Unplugged, and my dude C-Kid Tech talk about this all the time. If this is gonna sit in the studio and you got the money, and money's not an object, or it's not, I shouldn't say it's not an object, it's not a problem, I would say go with the FX6. Why, Terry? Why do you recommend the FX6? It was $3,000 more. Well, close to $3,000 more, just because, like, if it's not gonna be something that you out running and gunning in the streets with cameras, and let me make sure I say that for the YouTube guys to be in this joint trying to demonetize me, but you get all the benefits of a cinema camera, right? You get internal NDs built in, which is clutch. You know, you get all your modular controls on the outside. I mean, it's just so much more you can do and less steps with the cinema camera when it comes to content creation. As long as you're not outside, you know, I'm not running around with no $6,000 FX6. It's not happening. Not me. Not in Cleveland, I'm not. The way y'all be trying to rob people here. I can't even go outside with my shirt on here without somebody trying to run up on me. Give me that shirt, homie. But it's mine. It's on my back. I don't care. Give it. I ain't got time for it. To be honest with y'all, I don't even like going outside of Cleveland with my cameras because, listen, to that same point, all right, like an A7S3 right here. No, that's not the S3. Okay. A7S3 right here. Put a 70 to 200 on this bad boy. You got a $5,000 setup. And you know, I say this humbly, yo. I say this very grateful. That's not a flex. I'm not trying to like show off or nothing like that. Y'all know I love my gear, dog. And years ago, I couldn't afford none of this stuff. So I'm very protective over it now that I am able to afford it. And it's a blessing. And I'm, you know, I worked hard for it, obviously. But you know, every day I wake up, I look around like, man, I really changed. I really changed my life around. I really, you know, I still got a long ways to go, but I came a long way also. So when y'all see me happy about the stuff that I have, just know it comes from a genuine place. It's not because I want to show off. It's not because I want to go, oh man, I got $20,000 worth of cameras right here. Nah, I don't even roll like that. When I'm happy about this stuff, it's genuinely just because I get giddy over it. I get giddy over a freaking camera. You know, some people get giddy over Gucci shoes and Gucci and $100,000 of diamonds around their neck. I don't. I get off on cameras, vehicles. I'm a huge like WEAPON. I don't want to say that word because they might come in here trying to demonetize your boy, but you get what I'm saying. Everybody got their vice on what they spend money on. What are sports exactly? No time for that. Facts. Terry, man, I just came here to say, make sure you drink your coffee or else I will leave. You know what? You know what, Sailor Jesse? I respect you for that. Have a sip. I saved some just for you because I respect that comment. Y'all know I'm drinking coffee at all times. There you go. Get some of that. We in focus. That's some of you. Have a sip. Have a sip. I canceled sports. Started watching Tight Shirt Terry to level up. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's get it. Tell it on the mountain. Yeah, Ecamm. I use it for my overkill Zoom meeting. Said, okay, yeah, that's good. Elgato Wave mic. Yeah, you already know. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I tried the whole XLR to mixer. Man, listen, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time to sit here and fight with an audio setup when I could just plug in a freaking USB mic and 99% of y'all can't tell the difference. Hey, Elgato Wave mic is clutch. Link in the description. Support the channel. I would prefer the ZV-E10 over the A7C for most YouTubers for the price. Absolutely. I just made a whole video on why I think the ZV-10 is the best camera for content creators, beginners, people who are shopping for their first camera. Yo, you can't get these nowhere right now, but great freaking cameras. Not perfect. Definitely not perfect, but you know, you ain't perfect either. Everybody complaining about it's not perfect. You not even perfect. Shut up. I admire no time for sports explanation. It worked. Now people watch you. Appreciate that. Battle with the megapixels. All right, let me hurry up and get through this. Let's get through this. Secure the bag. Oh, Basil Tiffany. The night wouldn't be right if Basil Tiffany didn't show up. What up? What are my thoughts on the A7 III in 2022? Let me get her. Listen, I've always said with cameras, you don't need the latest and greatest. Unless you just baller. And you got it like that. Or you just like the latest and greatest and you can afford it. But don't chase cameras thinking that they're going to instantly improve your output. Because the reality is, if you trash with an A7 IV, you're going to be trash with an FX3. You're going to be trash with everything. Hey, all a more expensive camera's going to do if you don't know what you're doing is just make you more trash. So with that said, I think for the price, the A7C and an A7 III, especially with you being able to get them on a discount now because the A7 IV is out, are fantastic choices. Full frame cameras, yo. A lot of sauce. Great low light performance. Great autofocus. I would say if you don't want to go spend a whole lot of money on an A7 IV, you can still make absolute bangers, video and photo, with the A7 III. Spend that money on glass if you don't want to go with the latest camera body. Excuse me. And honestly, like, when people ask me like, yo, T, should I get the A7 IV? I always ask, like, for what? What you gonna do with it? You got a camera now? Usually the answer is, oh, this is my first camera. Then no, I don't recommend no A7 IV. Now, if you want to spend the money on the latest and greatest, fine. You want to learn and grow with the camera for the next couple of years, okay. But you don't need that. You see, let me tell you something. I got an A7S III over here. Again, I'm not trying to show off and nothing like that. I'm just offering perspective. I got an A7 III over here. I got an A7 III right here. I got an A7S III right here. I'm filming with the A7 IV. Guess what I haven't sold? Bam! No, I'm not selling it. Because it's still a fantastic camera. Up until I got the A7 IV, I was still using that over my A7S III for majority of the time. Now that I had an A7 IV, obviously I use the A7 IV more. But that don't mean that big baby over here is a slouch now. Don't go thinking that. She can still get it done. Hey, if I won the lottery, it'd be A7 IVs for everybody, for all y'all. Jason, what's happening? What up? Oh, Jamaica, Chicago, Virginia, all the way from Guyana, South America. That's what's up. Good to see you. Terrell Undone. Glen Ellen, Illinois. Cleveland in the house. Big kid. And I see you got a coffee mug in your hand in your Avi. Let's go. Lake Charles, Louisiana. What's in the coffee cup? All right, let me just settle this right now before we actually get into what I came to talk about tonight. All right, this is Starbucks Pike Roast. Freshly ground, freshly brewed. I do not use creamer. Sometimes I do, but I prefer black coffee with sugar in it. I used to go all in, dumping a ton of cream, a ton of sugar in, but what I found was, this is back when I was an amateur coffee drinker, right? When you have trash coffee, you got to dress it up like that to make it taste good. When you have a good bean that is brewed correctly, you don't need a lot. Just a little bit of sugar to take away some of the bitterness. Some people prefer the bitterness. I still like to tone it down a little bit, but just some black coffee with some sugar. Have a sip. I saved something for you. Phoenix in the house, Nebraska in the house, LA in the house, Texas, Miami in the house, Charlotte. It's so dope to see all of y'all from all over the place just coming to hang with me tonight. I really appreciate it. Chi-Town, when we mention Chi-Town, you better duck, because they like... Y'all, I thought it was bad at Cleveland. Y'all crazy. Kevin Clark, what up, man? Missouri. St. Lucia in the building. New York in the building. Jersey, by the way, of Bronx. Chicago, Missouri, Slovenia. What's up, man? Welcome. Put more creamer. No. DMX Terry. Oh, you see my reel today. ZVE10 is the next one for me to go with my A7 III. Sick piece of tech. Yeah. Hey, it's a great little camera, yo. My biggest problem with it is just the rolling shutter and the lack of stabilization. And I cook Sony for that. I cooked them. Like, a lot of people, oh, Terry paid by Sony. Man, do you hear the stuff I be saying about Sony? No, I give them objectively what I think about it. And you know what? Sony actually appreciates it. So, yeah. A6300, that was my first E-mount mirrorless camera. Love that little camera. Crop sensor soon to be obsolete in my bag. All right. Texas, here you go with this bot again. Cool, I box too and love boxing. Still involved with the youngsters. Your videos are inspiration for ideas. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. Why don't you stream on your new A7IV? Well, listen to this. I am streaming with my A7IV. So you looking at the A7IV right here. Yeah, somebody did say camera junkie. All right. You ain't missed to it. We just getting started. You need to ask me a question. Go ahead, drop it in the chat. I like UFC. I do like UFC, but I don't watch it a lot because my kids, like UFC scares my daughters. Like, I remember one time we went to a restaurant and UFC was on. Man, my oldest daughter about lost her mind. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in the hood. Thankfully, I'm not in the hood no more. But that don't mean nothing. You can never be too careful. Crime is everywhere. Especially with these new age kids, man. They go to expensive they go to affluent neighborhoods now. Hi Terry, I just bought the ZVE 10. Just wondering, is there any good affordable lenses for the camera for vlogging and unboxing videos? You got to define affordable, man. You know, what's affordable to you might not be affordable to me, and what's affordable to me might not be affordable to the next person. You get what I'm saying? So if you give it like $1 range, I can maybe help you out. Yeah, so I don't even like going out unless I got a second set of eyes with me. Not always possible, but my dude Icons RCs, me and him be together a lot. And not even because like I need backup, right? But if you think about it, if you want some dumb stuff, right? You a young punk on some dumb stuff. You gonna think twice before you run up on 2 people versus 1, unless it's more than 1 of y'all. Especially if you shooting at night, okay? And that's a little nugget I want to drop. Yo, we work hard for this camera gear. We pay all this money for these nice cameras, these nice lenses. Protect your investment. Just because you think your investment is secure, like these thieves, they know that these cameras, how much they could get for them. So just be vigilant. Like if you haven't been being vigilant, be vigilant about your camera gear. Because number 1, I'm sure you don't want to replace it if you ain't got no insurance. Number 2, like, just be mindful. It's just a situation that you can avoid. Pay attention to where you're going to. Try to take somebody with you and try to keep the attention off you. We go out there with these big old gimbals, you know, these gimbals, these lenses and stuff like that. And you never know who watching you. And trust me, you might not think people be watching you, but people watch. You got to keep your head on the swivel. Looking to buy a prime for streets portraits. Got a Sigma 24-70. Again, this is all budget. It's options everywhere. You could do a lot of, you could get some crazy portraits with the 24-70. 20mm f1.8, not really ideal for portraits. That's super wide angle. I mean, you could get wide angle portraits, but it's a sweet science to it. But a 24-70, I've done photo shoots with my gangster mode right here. Hey, 24-70s on full frame give you some beautiful results, man. Your gear is not the limiting factor. You got the gear. Ooh, that's debatable. So let's go ahead and get right into it, right? FX6 is officially the best compact camera since this new firmware update. Now, I haven't used the FX6 since the firmware update, right? I always said the FX6 was almost there. Like, it was almost there, but the autofocus was ridiculous. The menu was ridiculous. And all of the little quirks that the FX6 had that the A7S III didn't have. Excuse me. Like the autofocus quirks, the face detection quirks. And from what I saw with the firmware update, it now looks like it is a formidable option. But I don't have one. So I say this to pose this argument. I might have to disagree. Maybe the best Sony compact cinema camera, but you forget that there are cameras like the C70 out there lurking around. We even though we Sony over here, we not going to acknowledge that it ain't other great cameras out there. The C70 is a beast, and it's got more dynamic range than the FX6. It has a smaller sensor. And the R5C, which I just made a video about that. Woohoo! The R5C is not perfect. I get it. No in-body stabilization. I get it. It's only got Canon's like step down autofocus from the C70. I get it. But man, whoa, that freaking R5C, even with it not being perfect. Hey. What's crazy is the R5C has more video options than some cinema cameras. Yeah, Terry's a way nicer guy than I am. I wouldn't share my... Okay. Listen, if this was actual real coffee, no, you wouldn't get a sip. Because this would be gone already. And now it's gone. I'm actually a really nice guy. Until you piss me off. But that's everybody. For me, Manuel Fergus versus... I get tongue-tied because I'm listening to my AirPod, right? And there's a slight delay. So I'm not... Like, I don't have speech problems. It throws you off when you're hearing yourself talk, but there's a delay. So that's the reason. I prefer autofocus for what I do. I'm not on a film set. And with the A7IV and the A7S3, with you being able to adjust how sensitive they are and also how fast they rack from one end to the other, why not use autofocus? If I wanted a manual focus camera, I would have got a Panasonic S5. I buy Sony because I prefer the insane autofocus. Thank you, Marine X, for the super chat. I'm from East 129th for Eddie Road. Oh, you from the hood. My entire family is still in EC. EC is East Cleveland for y'all. So just like any other city, suburb, you got your nice parts, you got your middle parts, and then you got the slums, right? EC is the slums. And you know, slums is the wrong word. It's the hood. That's where a lot of violence is, you know, stuff that we ain't gonna talk about on YouTube. But you make it an EC, you can make it anywhere. I stayed at EC before. So, because of your LUTS and Mr. Camera Junkie advice, I just passed 22K sub. That's what I'm talking about, man. Let's go. You about to pass me. I'm only at what? About to pass 30? Shout out to you for the super chat, bro. I greatly appreciate it. YouTube University or Skillshare moment classes to learn how to use my camera. In depth. I'm a complete beginner. I'm gonna be honest. YouTube University. The only thing about courses, which I'm gonna have my own course too, is you get structure. That's the only thing. The rest of this information is free. Like all the information I got content on my channel showing how to do stuff with the A7IV and other cameras. If you want the structure, if you want it condensed, then do a course. But it's like, what's the one site? LegalZoom. I use LegalZoom for an example like this. Yo, all of the stuff that you can do that you pay LegalZoom for, that you would pay LegalZoom for, like structuring the LLC, you can do that for free. What you're paying for is for somebody to do it for you and to save you the time. So if you want the courses to condense that information so that you can easily digest it, yeah, get a course. But otherwise, YouTube University is free player. Honestly, there's so much free information out there. Like, yeah. Have you ever used the S5? I have not, but I know people that haven't. If autofocus is not a big deal to you, it is arguably a better camera than the A7 IV for half the price. And I only say better than because, like, when I say is one thing better than the other, I factor in cost. The S5 comes within 85% of what the brand new A7IV can do for less than half the price. The only caveat is the autofocus is lightweight trash. There's a lot of people that have ditched the S5 for the A7IV. So just, hey. The other thing I always say with these camera brands, yo, like people ask like, why you so diehard Sony? And a big part of it is ecosystem, lens selection. Panasonic ain't got no freaking lenses. I mean, I got some, but like Sony has just Sony lenses, over 70 lenses. Then you got Sigma, Tamron. You got lenses like Viltrox, you know? They got budget offerings, Mikey, Rokinon, Samyang, just lens selection. All of those lenses. There's a lens for freaking everything at every price point. Best full frame starter, vlogging, A7C. But the reality is you don't need full frame for that. If you want full frame, fine. If you think that you might start with a crop sensor and then you get the itch to go full frame, okay, just go full frame. But you don't need full frame. Everybody's on this, I gotta have full frame. No, I mean, full frame has its benefits, but it also has disadvantages. It's way more expensive. When you can get a crop sensor camera, quality is, for social media, pretty much just as good. Autofocus, just as good. Benefits, smaller camera, cheaper lenses. Go full frame if you want to. It's a dark hole down there. Just like, you know. Strangely enough, my favorite camera is not even full frame or crop. It's the ZV1, the ZV1. This is my baby. I freaking love this thing. I use this more than any other cameras I got. I freaking love the ZV1. And it's a 1-inch sensor. I own the A7C and FX6. I own the 28 to 135 power zoom. It works amazing for weddings and many. Okay, respect. It's a lens I wouldn't buy, but that doesn't mean that the shoe don't fit for somebody else. So that's the perfect example. A7III actually just went up in price, which is strange. I think Sony is capitalizing on the A7IV short. Let me tell y'all a hack. And I'm team Sony. Like I get exclusivity on Sony stuff. I had my pre-order in for the A7IV. Back order through BH. Guess what I was able to do? Cancel that order. And I might be giving up the sauce because a lot of people don't know this. If you go with an A7IV and you want the body only, yeah, you ain't gonna get one for a while. But if you want to get the one with the 28 to 70 kit lens, yo, they shipping overnight. So for me, it was worth the extra after my discount, whatever I had to pay. It was worth it to pay that just to get it the next day versus having my money tied up and have no clue when I'm getting my camera. Also, we rely on these websites like BH, Autorama, Amazon. Sometimes it's worth it to check your local camera store. Telling you, tomorrow if you're waiting for A7IV, just call around. And what you'll find is like, all right, so when these new cameras come out, everybody's, I gotta go to BH. I gotta go to Best Buy. Best Buy is a sleeper too. A lot of times they have stock where other places don't. But everybody think, I gotta go to Autorama, gotta go to Best Buy, gotta go BH. But nobody knocking down the doors of the local camera shops. So when they get these 3-4 cameras at a time, they sitting there. Call around, might score one. Oh, Youngstown in here, what's up? And that's boo. A7III and 10 frames per second burst. Yeah, all of this stuff. Dual core. See, and that's the thing. A7III is still a formidable camera. Although this camera is 4 years old now, it still ain't too many cameras out at this price point that can run with it. I'm being honest. I say at this price point because it's the truth. Yeah, I could go buy an A7IV, but what camera? The last time I looked, you could get an A7III used for about $1,100. New, some places, $1,300, $1,400. What other camera around that price can you still get this feature set with a full frame camera with great autofocus? The only other option out there is the Panasonic S5, and it don't have good autofocus. Yeah, the A7 III don't have 10-bit, all that stuff. But being honest with y'all, none of that stuff matters for online YouTube stuff. Only we care about that. Nobody looking at our videos like, oh, that was only filmed in 420. Nobody looking at our videos like, oh, his shutter speed didn't match the 180-degree shutter rule. No, that's us that care about that. Don't nobody care about that. Some of the most popular channels of all time blew up with one of these. A freaking cell phone. So yeah. Hey, FX3 does have that zoom option on there. So yeah, West Coast in the house, Boston in the house, India in the house. Whoa. I will fight folks over my A7C. Hey, great camera. My dude, C-Kid Tech got one too. I rocking some home roasted Ethiopian beans. Nothing better. I gotta try some different coffees. What do I think about Peter McKinnon? I've got asked this question before, and I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you something about TerryWarfield. One thing TerryWarfield will never do is go on an online account and negatively talk about another man. Not gonna happen. You know what I think about men who talk down on other men publicly? They're women. Because if you got time to sit around as a man and talk about another man online, you got too much time on your hands. So what do I think about Peter McKinnon? I like him. I met him once. He promised me he was going to send me some coffee last year. He never sent it. But I've always been a big fan of his work. Peter McKinnon paved the way for a lot of us, you know, like newer school. It's cool to wear. It's cool to have tattoos. It's cool to make camera videos with some swag in it. Like PMK pioneered all of that. I think a lot of people say about Peter McKinnon, like his work is not the same. I mean, obviously things change. You know, you go from not being a millionaire to a millionaire. Some things going to change about you too. The conversations sound different. The work ethics sound different. The work sounds different. Y'all got to keep that in mind. It's the same thing with like rappers, you know what I'm saying? People like, oh, he ain't hungry how he used to be. I mean, he a whole millionaire now. Like, you can't expect him to still be rapping about what he was doing in the streets when he not in the streets no more. Charlotte, Malaysia, what up? The 1080p comparison between the A7 III and A7 IV opened my eyes to the A7 IV, but I'm currently saving up for the A1. Keep rocking it. Hey, and you still use what you got. Remember what I say. I'm not saying you trash, but the camera is only good as the person behind it. Excuse me, I'll never forget. One of my dudes, this was a couple years ago, had first got the A7 III when it first came out. Sent me a message. And this is my dude, like, no shade at all. Sent me a message. Yo, I got the A7 III. I got the 24 to 70. I got the 16 to 35 and the 70 to 200. And I was so disgusted because all I had was an A6300 and the Sigma 16 millimeter. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. You know, I'm at this point, I'm jealous, but you know, I'm always happy for people doing good things. So I'm like, that's dope, man. Then he starts sending me some pictures and some videos. And I was like, that is hot trash. That is hot trash. And it put it in perspective for me. Like, I could make better content with my A6300 and my 16 millimeter than this man that just blew 10 racks on camera gear. Gear matters, but only so much. If you trash and you go buy $10,000 worth of camera gear, you just gonna be $10,000 camera gear deep. Trash. That's it. How's the 1080p quality on the A7IV? Check my channel. Did a comparison. It's actually really good. Oh, good question. Capture Productions. What up, man? Do I think they're going to put an update out for the FX3 with focus breathing like the FX6? Let me say this. I've made this no secret in every video I make about Sony cameras. The fact that people like me spent $3,500. I mean, I didn't spend that, but $3,500 on a video camera that does not have the newest features like the A7IV, and people who just bought an FX3 and people who bought an FX6, the fact that we don't have the same features really pisses me off. Not only that, but you got cameras like the Panasonic S5, the GH5, old cameras that have way more when it comes to tools, monitoring tools. I can't even put my own LUT on the A7S III, and this is a video camera. I can't put waveforms on my screen. Sony. I don't have any type of shutter angle. Sony. At least give me the breathing compensation that the A7IV has. At least give me the focus map and things like very shutter, right? That's stuff that this video camera that I just bought should have. So to answer your question, I do think Sony is going to put out an update for the FX3 and for the A7S3B. Because if they don't, Sony users are gonna, it ain't gonna be good. We already starting to get upset. Sony, we need our update. We work hard for this gear. That's facts. Oh, super chat. Thank you so much. SHM Design. How's the 1080p quality on the A7IV? First of all, thank you for your super chat. I greatly appreciate you so freaking much. I will give you a sip of coffee, but you know, I drank that. I appreciate that so much. How was the 1080p quality? So I think 3 videos ago, I compared the A7 III to the A7 IV 1080p. And in a nutshell, it's a pretty drastic difference. The A7 IV 1080p is much sharper than the A7 III. Here's the thing though. Here's the $1 million question. Who gonna notice? Nobody. So if, and I said this in the video, if you are thinking about getting the A7 IV, and this is one of your only determining factors of buying it over the A7 III, is because the 1080p is better. It's better. But realistically, unless you at that pixel peeping time, 400% viewing size, nobody gonna notice. But it is better. I think what's most important is not the increase in quality, but the fact that it's 10-bit. That's what's more important. Way more color data, and you get 422. Yeah, I hope we get the FX3 update. Oh, regarding the lens for ZVE10, is there any lens for vlog and unboxing worth $100? Hey, kit lens. Hold up. I'm gonna get that for you. Kit lens that comes with it. Listen, kit lenses are junk. I'm just being honest with you, but if you don't have a lens, and what's crazy is I just, like I said, dropped a video on why I think the ZVE10 is the best starter camera. And one thing I said in that video was get you the kit lens. If you don't have any lenses, would you rather have a camera with no lens, or would you rather have a camera with a lens? because a camera with no lens, you can't do nothing with. But a camera with a lens, you can still do something with. So if this is all you can afford right now, start with this. $100 kit lens. You can actually find a Sony 16-50 power zoom, local camera shops, local like pawn shops online for 60, 70 bucks. It's at least enough to get you started. What picture profile do you recommend for video? I don't recommend picture profiles to people. You want to know why? Whoo, hey, I'm about to tell y'all some stuff. Y'all about to be mad at me. There's a young lady that I frequently help on Instagram with her camera stuff. I don't mind. I try to help everybody. I get a ton of DMs every day. I try to help where I can. But a few weeks ago, she sent me a message talking about picture profiles. No shade to her. I said, do you even know what a shutter speed is? Or how to manipulate the exposure triangle? She said, I'm still learning. I said, well, don't worry about no picture profiles. Again, I'm telling y'all this. This is one of them things where if you slap a picture profile on top of trash, you're just gonna be picture profile trash. Focus on your knowledge. Focus on how to manipulate the exposure triangle, how to make a vlog, how to get good audio, how to do photography, how to do portraits, how to do landscape, how to implement flash. You know, like there's so much stuff to worry about versus sitting here nitpicking over picture profiles. Just shoot it. No, your viewers do not know that you filmed this in PP6. Now listen, once you understand all of that, that's different, right? And in that case, there's no such thing as a perfect picture profile. It just don't exist. They all have different gamma curves. They all have specific cases where one may be better than the other. Like, I can't recommend one, but focus on your story, focus on your video, focus on that stuff. Nobody cares about your PP setting. That sounded so weird. Like I'm talking about picture profile. Nobody's ever gonna look at your video. He didn't film that in S-Log 3 with the gamma curve set to BT 2020, the color space I mean. Nobody cares. For what it's worth, I use Acetone for most stuff because you know what? Unless it's actually a film that I'm making that I really like want to look a certain way, I'm not trying to sit here and edit down every video I make. Acetone looks great. Picture profile off looks great. Get your white balance straight. That's what matters the most. Hey, put a little contrast curve on it. Be on your merry way. Sony's flagship camcorder is the Sony Venice. Kairos MP, big love, man. Appreciate you. Paramount. Sony Gangsta Mode 24-70 versus 24-105 OSS F4. Ooh, it's a good topic. Listen, that 24-105 is a real workhorse. And to add that it's got OSS, the only caveat is F4. F4 is not as big of a problem as people make it out to be, especially if you have a newer Sony full frame camera. These things can basically see in the freaking dark. And also being realistic, you can still get plenty of depth of field with an F4 on a full frame. So, how do you make a decision between the two? Range. Are you going to feel like that 70 to 105 range, is that important to you? If it's important to you, hey, I guess you got your answer, right? For me, I use for most stuff 24-70. But that's me. I can't tell you what I use is going to work good for you. But a lot of people use 24-70 as their primary workhorse lens because, I mean, when I want to go longer than that, I got an 85, I got a 70 to 200. But if it was me, I would go to 24-70 f2.8 only because although not absolutely necessary, I prefer f2.8. Now, one could argue that the OSS is more valuable. So for you, if the OSS is more valuable, plus that extra reach over f2.8, yeah, plus it's a smaller and lighter lens. Bad battery on R5C. Listen, I don't know about that yet. Wait, A7S3 link on the description not working. What the hell? I have to get that fixed. Where's your Canon camera? I don't have any Canon cameras. I will be expanding later this year to start testing some out. I feel like I've built this channel off of Sony stuff, yeah, but it's also like I'm super hyped to test this R5C out. I'm gonna be honest with you. So that's gonna happen. Yep, render's policy is a must. S5 autofocus is excellent. Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Don't call it excellent. Say that you've learned how to use it. That's a lie. The S5 autofocus is not excellent. S5 as a camera is a great camera, but let's be honest, the autofocus is cheeks, comparatively speaking to Sony cameras. Do not believe that statement. That is absolutely not true. And you know, Basil, I typically agree with you, but that autofocus on the S5 is trash. I'm waiting on a super dope crop Sony body for wildlife. I hear we may be getting it this year. That's what I said. Use A7IV going for like 12 scunnets these days. R5C, I have 2 C70s. Yo, C70 is a monster. Honestly, if I wasn't so committed to the Sony ecosystem, I would probably have a C70. Now, this is a very true statement right here. This is why I keep saying the S5 is a great camera, because it has things that my $3,500 Sony video camera should have, such as DCI 4K in camera. I don't need to connect no freaking monitor to get DCI 4K. Why can't I do it? Why can't I get full DCI 4K in my camera on a video camera? That's ridiculous. External RAW. Okay. External 6K. Okay. Fair. Vector scopes is a huge thing for me. Why on my video centric A7S3 or people with FX3s do we not have the different vector scopes? On a Panasonic S5, hell, on a GH5 that's 5 years old has it. Why does my new Sony camera, as great as Sony cameras are, not have it? It's not acceptable. And like I said, it has shutter angle. The autofocus is trash. The lens selection is trash. That is a huge benefit to Sony cameras. I say that all the time. A7IV also has full-size HDMI, unlimited recording, no compromises there. That's why I love Sony cameras. But you're absolutely right. Not surprising. Would you use the 28? Hold on one second, player. Now again, I saw Manny Ortiz in here. I saw his comment. He said, "Don't do it with kit lenses," and I typically agree, but I also have to be realistic. I came from the side that didn't just have extraneous money to spend on lenses. So if I'm somebody that can't afford to buy a nicer lens and I want to spend my money on a newer camera, would I rather have a lens or not have a lens? 28 to 70. Is it the best lens? Hell no. It's not, but it's better than nothing. And for any decent zoom lens, if you go buy separately, you're going to spend a couple $100. A decent prime lens is going to set you back at least $300 to $500 and more. If you are just starting and you don't have a lens, you could get a kit lens for like $100, $150. No, they are not the best. They are not ideal, but they are better than nothing. Manny. Shout out to Manny in the building. It's my dude, man. Y'all, Manny is the GOAT. I know a lot of y'all know Manny Ortiz and see his work. Let's give him a round of applause, man. Manny, I got to give a special shout out to Manny. I don't care how many subscribers my man got. He got a lot of them. I don't care about that, though. What I care about is Manny's story. I never told him this, but if you're still in here, Manny, go ahead and get you a piece of tissue real quick. I care about Manny's story. I've been watching Manny Ortiz since before he blew up. He don't know that, but I have. And I remember watching Manny's videos, watching him like be not comfortable on camera. I've seen Manny's videos where him talk about like how he wasn't comfortable, yet he still made. And Manny came through and showed people that you can be who you are and make success. Manny didn't change himself. He just kept working hard. And look at him now. And I love stories like that because it's about to get real, y'all. It's about to get real. Listen, Manny is from the Chi. He a thug. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, yo. And I hate to go down this road, but it's also a reality. Being a person of color in this camera space, like, listen, we adults, we could talk chickens, we could talk real. Like, we know the majority on YouTube when it comes to camera. What do you see? And this is no shade to anybody that fits this description, but again, a spade is a spade. What do you see? Majority white males. Some white women too. And I love white people. I love all people. I don't care about people's race. Which is why I don't even like talking about race, but I feel like it is important in this. I feel like it is important in this context. Even when I first transitioned into the camera space, I never felt like, I felt like, you know what, there's no way I could be successful at this. I get on camera, I talk like this, I look like this, I wear tight shirts, you know, I got a loud mouth, I'm arrogant. Some people say, I don't fit the mold, yo. I don't fit the mold. And watching people like Manny gave me, like, I'm not a person who don't have confidence. I'm pretty sure y'all can tell that. But, you know, everybody has that little voice in the back of their head, like, you know, you can't do it. You can't make it. This ain't for you. And Manny was one of those people where I watched him continually, like, just keep at it and keep at it and keep at it. And eventually it paid off. So he was one of those people I watched that kind of helped quell that little voice in the back of my head. So big shout out to Manny, man. Keep crushing it. It's inspiring to see what you're doing. And I don't care how many haters you get. I don't care about none of that. Keep going, man. You're needed in the camera space. Thank you for everything you do. All right. Somebody, I don't know who cutting onions in this piece, but it got to stop. That's over with. Manny, you a punk, man. And the next time you hop in my DMs trying to roast me, I'm cooking you. Much love, man. I appreciate you. Let's see. Man, I just went off on a whole tangent about Manny Ortiz. Ricky Martin, or whatever his stage name is. You know, I tried to use a Fuji camera. I guess I got it. The colors were amazing, but it wasn't anything that ever made me want to use it again. Z6 is another great option for 1,000 use. Very true. I got the A7IV body only through Best Buy in the middle of the night around 3 in the morning. Hey, I told y'all Best Buy be having them. Texas in the house. Tamron 17 to 28 and good question. Good question. Is the Tamron 17 to 28 and 28 to 75 the best budget combo for full frame for vlogging and travel videos and photos? I love the Tamron 17 to 28. In my opinion, yes. On a budget, and I say budget loosely because these still cost the bag, but comparatively speaking, yes, I do think that they are an amazing 1-2 combo because they cover pretty much everything. Plus on the A7IV, if you got one, you got crop mode. Excuse me. So yeah, very good. I love Tamron lenses, yo. And they love me too, and I love them. North Korea in the house. Had a break-in a couple months ago. Insurance finally paid me, so I chose A7IV as a replacement. I'm digging my choice so far. Thinking of getting second A7IV FX3 for interviews. Sorry to hear about the break-in. Happy to hear insurance hooked you up. I shot that gig last week with that new A7IV. Photos and videos, switch back and forth on the fly. That's one thing I love about the A7IV, that switch. I know you Canon heads that had that for a while, but we don't care about that. We don't care about your switch, yo. We finally got it on Sony, and you got to let us live. Michael Tobin in the house. What up, man? Detroit in here. Good to see you, Mike. Oh man, see y'all trying to make me cry in this thing. Love your videos, man. Been watching you every video since I found out about you a couple years ago. My favorite YouTube by far. Keep going, man. I love to hear that, man. Started with a GoPro Hero 9. What's up? Hoping Sony can come out with a camera that can do 1080p 480 frames per second in good quality. Oh, okay. My man Jason Morris in the house. I just got done talking about you. Talking about the 24 to 105. All right, I got another super chat in the building. Thank you. Let's read it. Everybody, shh, 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 shh. Oh, I just addressed that. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. I appreciate that so much. Again, every time I see a super chat, it means the world to me. Y'all don't have to say nothing, but thank you. Like, I really appreciate it. When is that Xeon Crane M3 video coming? You know what? Probably my next video. I was out getting some shots with it today. That little thing is boss. Those are my issues with my FX3. The monitoring. I now shoot raw on the Ninja V unless I'm using your Drama LUT because I was running gun with that Slog 3. Yo, shout out to the Drama LUT. What you watching right now is the Drama LUT. I got more LUTs and stuff coming soon, but if you want to check out my Self-Fi store, I got a few photo packs on there. And also, if you want this sauce right here, this is Drama from my 8-pack of film LUTs down below. A7IV out of stock. You got to check around. You could get one, but you got to search for them. Save the kit lens from when you sell the camera and move up. Absolutely. Great strategy. Just got the A7R4 from the A6600, but I'm a hybrid shooter. Is it still a king of photo? Nope. The Alpha 1 is now the king of the Sony Hill. Big shout out to Manny. We just went on our whole little serenade to Manny. Yeah, man. Look at this. Look at superstar Manny getting love in this joint. Yeah, hey, I should. That's a new tight shirt. Hey, I got shirts and stuff coming soon, y'all. Just stay tuned. They coming. Nice, 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 nice. Ooh, listen. I'm loving that Tamron 35 to 150. It's a little too rich for my blood, but I tested it, and I love that lens. You want to talk about a fat lens? Whoo, it's a big boy. Look, superstar Manny in the house. Don't go ahead blowing this guy's head up. His head already big enough. Y'all been seeing Manny posing on Instagram lately? You know, no homo. Manny a good looking dude, you know what I'm saying? But Manny been at this he been doing this a whole lot lately with his little side profile pictures on Instagram. Like, he got the little lines in his haircut and everything. We see you. We see you. Oh man. Woo, you talk about money. Yes, yes, yes. I love APS-C. That's one of the big reasons why I love the A7IV, because on the A7S3 we don't get no crop mode, so I've been using pretty much no crop mode. The A7 III has crop mode, but I'm loving the A7 IV's crop mode. So yes. Yeah, I'm telling you, he got that bag. You can have good video or you can have good autofocus. You can't have both. That's not true. Not true at all. A7 IV can produce amazing quality video. Disagreed. I totally disagree. So, okay, I see what you're saying. Let me step back. To the point I made, yes, I agree with you. Right now, there's not a no compromise camera unless we want to talk about the Canon R5C. Yep. If you want to talk about it, listen. First of all, y'all, ain't no such thing as no freaking perfect camera. Y'all always come in here talk about, oh, it doesn't have this. Man, no camera has everything unless you want to spend $40,000. No camera has everything. But the R5C is a huge argument for under $5,000 being one of the most complete cameras. It is loaded to the teeth with video. It's pretty much a Canon R5 with the lower tiered autofocus, no IBIS, plus everything that the C70 has for $4,500. Wow. Like, it's not perfect. They skimped out on a couple things. They got micro HDMI in the thing. Who wants that junk? Micro HDMI, okay? No IBIS. Step down autofocus. There's a few compromises, but as a whole, under 5Gs, that is one of the most complete cameras out there. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Oh, Photo Me Ike in the house. What's up? Thanks for coming through. Another super chat. Thank you so much, man. Woo, y'all gonna make me tear up tonight. We've been holding 80 strong in the house tonight, too. So big shout out to the squad for hanging out in here. Salute T-Dub. I currently shoot A7C now for video. Waiting for a restock on the A7S3. Is the A7IV a happy enough medium to bypass the A7S3? Bless up. I made a video about this, but in a nutshell, I think it depends. If you want to no compromise, and it's not, I say no compromise because with the FX3, A7S3, I say no compromise because there's no stops in the way that prevents you from using any of the modes. So if I want to go 4K 120 frames per second in S-Log 3 with full autofocus, I can do that with little crop. If I want to go 4K 60 with active stabilization, like there's just so many, I can pick whatever codecs and bit rates I want. I can even kick it up a notch and go with raw output if I want to. Amazing. You got to remember though, it can take photos, but it's not really, it's an amazing photo camera, but the megapixels is where the problem is. Conversely, the A7IV is it's not meant to be an A7S3, and I need y'all to freaking understand this. It's not meant to be an A7S3. It shares very similar features, but A7IV, photo camera first. Emphasis on photo camera first. Improved flash system. 33 megapixel sensor. More dynamic range. It's meant to be Sony's now mid-tier photography camera with some video features sprinkled into it. So the question is, how do you pick between the one of them? I'm gonna make it easy for you. Is 4K 120 important to you? Is 4K 60 no crop important to you? Are you ever gonna record an external RAW? And lastly, do you need, I'm sorry, is 12 megapixels a limitation for you? If your answer was yes to the first three and no to the last one, A7S3 is the camera for you. However, and I put a strong emphasis on however, if you take a lot of photos and you're okay with the A7IV's crop in 4K 60, you're okay with, forgot to mention this, the roll and shutter performance on the A7IV is not that great in 4K 24 and 4K 30. Why? Because it has to do so much oversampling from 7K. Byproduct, rolling shutter. There is no rolling shutter with the A7S III. So if you're serious about video content creation, A7S III. If you are not in need of all of that stuff though, go with the A7IV. There it is. There it is. TerryWarfield just spelled it out for you, man. Terry, love your videos, bro. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Under certain amount. Yeah, it's you do kind of got to make some compromises, right? But I think my argument was, he said there's no such thing as a good video camera with autofocus under 5K. That's not true. I know, many a thug. Just found your channel a few days ago and subbed. Hopefully one day we will cross paths and collab. I'm a photographer, videographer out of Polk County, Florida. Great content. What's up, man? Thanks for coming through. I appreciate that. Yeah, shout out to Manny, man. Wait for the S3, my guy. No overheating. Oh, yeah, that's another good point. A7S3 rarely overheats. I haven't had the A7IV overheat on me yet, but I know some people have. So, something to consider. Yep, good stuff. Instead of A7IV with kit lens, look into the A7III C R3 with a sig. Yeah, not mad at that. I tell you what I see on YouTube's. Lots of sellouts giving unbiased opinions with no influence whatsoever from all the free early access to cameras. I'll probably jack that all up, but listen, I already told y'all I don't bash other people. I just try to stay authentic. And also, I don't accept much free stuff. Ain't no such thing as free in this world. Free comes with, you know, strings attached. Don't even get me started on free. Oh, brands be like, oh, we want you to do a whole ass video in exchange for a lens. What? I'm gonna go on this tangent real quick. I'm all about doing what you got to do to get the stuff that you need to get to do your reviews, make your videos, etc. But once you understand your value, stop letting these brands pimp y'all. I'm serious. A product is not a payment. Say this again. A product is not a payment. Unless it was going to be something that you wanted, and maybe you couldn't afford it, or maybe you could afford it, you just don't want to buy it, or that you were going to make a video about anyways. Is it something that you could use that could really help benefit, grow your channel? Or is it a relationship you really want? Maybe you need to show a brand a little bit to get a lot of it. In those situations, fair. But all it is, oh, we want you to make a video. Send us the link. Put our links in your description. Do this, do that. Take your clothes off. Walk around tapping the top of your head while rubbing your belly, and we'll send you a lens. No, y'all can kick rocks. These places want access to your audience. They do not get it for free. We sit around and put hours and hours into our gear, into our craft. We built this audience, and you want access to it for free? Do you see the look on my face? Come on. No. That's a lesson I learned a long time ago. You want me to review your product? You need to send me your product to review it. Duh. Oh, but now we need to talk about how much time is it going to make me? Oh, you want access to my skill set that I've spent hundreds of hours creating this over the years. This don't come for free. And if you don't want to agree to that, fine. Go find the next new head that will, because it ain't going to be me. Now, again, I'm not saying that there are not times where I do not accept things, but I understand my value. When a company reach out to me and say, hey, we got XYZ, I run through this whole gamut of questions before I agree to something. And for me to accept something in exchange for a video, I got to feel like I'm getting the better end of the deal. And that is subjective. That could be anything. Me getting the better end of a deal could mean me finally getting that brand partnership that I always wanted. Those are things you need to establish in your thought process instead of just saying, oh, I made it. A company wants to send me a free product. No, they don't. They want to use you for an advertisement. You're gonna make a video for them. It's gonna stay on your YouTube channel forever. It's gonna make them money forever. They're gonna write that off at the end of the year. It didn't cost them nothing, but they're gonna benefit from it, from all of the sales you're gonna make for them. Come on, y'all. We gotta start being wiser as content creators. It's plenty of room for everybody to exist. I don't like, you know, I get it. Racism is real, but I try not to use it. I think there's room for everybody. You know where else I think we need more representation in? Women. I looked through my analytics show and most of my viewers are men. 91% men, 7% women. Matt, war crime, Matt in the house. What up, man? I just started watching you because Gerald Undone recommended you. Kept watching because your videos are fire, and it's nice to have some color in my YouTube subscriptions. I appreciate that, yo. Oh my God. Hold on a second. A super you mother. $99, man. Let me tell y'all why that super chat means so much to me, man. I keep saying I don't care if it's $1, I don't care if it's $1 million. I don't. But I want to offer you perspective. And I'm going to hop off here in a little bit, but I want to offer you perspective. Man, I went from, I don't like the word idolize, but we'll use it. Manny was somebody when I first started creating that I watched all the time. Never thought I would ever have a conversation with this dude. And there's a lot of people like this. A lot of y'all know, like, I'm very cool with Casey Neistat. And a lot of other people that have huge channels and are celebrities or whatever. I don't talk about it because it don't matter. But the fact that I am on a first name basis with Manny now. We talking Instagram DMs. I'm sure soon we'll probably work on something together, hopefully. But to go from idolizing somebody in this camera space, what we do, to being friends with somebody, to now the same person that I used to idolize, believing in what I do and who I am and supporting it, and sending $100 freaking, that, like, what more proof do you need that all you got to do is be passionate about what you do and keep the pedal to the metal? Thank you, Manny, for all the inspiration over the years, man. Thank you. And I really appreciate your super chat. And I will not buy a larger shirt. I would not be tight shirt Terry with a bigger shirt on. So I will go buy some small shirts with that money. My guy Turf Therapy, smash that like button. Come on now. Listen. Cause I'm rooting for everyone black. You know what? I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I'm not even mad at that. Again, I try to avoid the racial stuff, but I definitely think this space needs more African American representation. So I'm not mad at it. I think this space needs more representation from women. So I'm not mad at it. I'm rooting for everybody, but I'm rooting for my people too. And that's facts. So I appreciate that super chat. Ike. Appreciate you, man. All the way from D-Town. Hey, I might turn around and do something nice for somebody, for real. Any leads on where to get this EVE 10 or 6400, they're out of stock. Nope. You just got to try to get lucky. Where do you sell your gear? Usually Twitter. Usually Twitter. Do your LUTs work at DaVinci Resolve? Yes, they work in any program. They're not color space transforms. They're just creative LUTs, so you can slap it on pretty much anything. The Udo Pantograph. What's up? What's up? Stooping by to say hello from Brooklyn. Brooklyn. I got the A7IV for Christmas, you lucky girl, and I'm loving it a lot. My favorite thing is the separate settings for photo and video. Hell yeah, I love that. That's probably one of my favorite features, being able to hit that switch and just switch up what I need to do. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate you. Just shot the A1 today, and crop mode is like having 2 lenses. That's a fact. Notification squad in the house. Yep. What up, Terry? Steven from Euclid. Oh, my dude. First of all, why do you have that look on your face? Stefan. I said your name wrong. Stefan. Me and Stefan go way back. What up? All right. Can I use my Mavic Mini in other countries, or do you have to register it to fly? I'm going to Colombia and Puerto Rico. You need to check Colombia and Puerto Rico's flight restrictions. All places are different. I will tell you that traveling with a gram, that sounded horrible. Traveling with a drone under 250 grams, there's a lot of things you don't have to do, and the Mavic Mini is $249, I think. So, you definitely want to check with Colombia and Puerto Rico. Drones are actually illegal in some places, so just be sure that you check. Because one thing you don't want to mess with is the FAA. I have drones, and yeah, I make sure, I just ran into my microphone. I make sure that I comply with all regulations, bruh. You don't want the FAA or whoever come to your doorstep, get your ass out here and pay us this $30,000 fine. Yo, that's one lens that I wish I could get. When I tested that, oh my God. That 50mm f1.2 gangster mode. Jesus. It's 2 racks. I want it so bad. I just can't justify it. But if I just had a spare 2 G's right now that I could spend and not be like, oh, I should have saved it. Yo, absolutely. You already know it's coming. I'm telling y'all, I got merch coming. What up? Riley, what up, man? Thanks for coming through, bro. Another one of my Cleveland brethren in the house. The A7IV stands next to the A1, just how the A7III stands next to the A9. That's facts. Do you shoot log on your drone footage? The drone footage I shot today, I did. I shot it in D-log because it's snow everywhere, and I need that extended dynamic range that a log profile offers. The problem with shooting a lot of snow, a lot of y'all who shoot in snow know what I'm talking about. It creates problems when you're exposing. So your wife took your card. Hey man, I understand. Gotta have that 4K 120, and the R5C is already on pre-order. I ain't even mad at you. I held back a few days on pulling the trigger on my A7S3 when the R5C announcement happened, but the lens selection for E-mount tipped me over. I said that in my video. E-mount is a huge freaking determining factor on why I chose not to buy an R5C. Lenses. Sony got so many lenses. The ecosystem is crazy. It's a lens for everything. ATL in the house. My go-to channel for camera, respect on the knowledge. Got to stop watching because the addiction is real from ZV1 to A7IV. I cannot be blamed for nothing, man. So good question. This is a great question. I'm gonna take a couple more questions and then we're gonna wrap this up. So would the A7S3 and A7R4 be better than having the A1? Ooh, it's a good question. I would love to answer this. I prefer to have 2 camera bodies over 1. I would even argue that unless you need the resolution from the A7R4, the better option would be A7S3 plus A7IV because of all of the improvements ergonomically, autofocus wise to the A7IV. So if I had a choice to buy A1 or A7S3, as good as the A1 is, or an A7S3 plus an A7IV, I will go with the 2-camera setup. Number one, redundancy. Number two, you never know when you need a second angle, whether you do photography or video. Number three, redundancy again. If my one camera goes down and that's all I got, I'm chalked. Love your videos. Can we get your opinion on the 16 to 35 versus 24 millimeter gangsta mode? Depends on if you want to zoom or not. I had the 24 millimeter f1.4. I traded it for the 24 to 70 because let me switch ears. Hopefully my other AirPod is not dead. I think it is, of course, like always. My other AirPod is dead. So stupid. This is so stupid. Well, anyways, I sold my 24 millimeter f1.4 just because, like, if it was a 50, like 50 millimeters is a super versatile focal length. You can pretty much use that for anything. Not a 24 though. 24 is more of like a specialist lens. It's really good for like video and stuff like that. But I found a lot that I was reaching for other lenses instead of using my 24. As good as the lens was, so for me, a zoom would be better. But everybody is different. Oh, another super chat. Finish the beer super chat. Oh, $19.99. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. A1 is better than having both. Disagree, but we have. Let me go back to this super chat. Let me tell you thank you one more time, brother. I really appreciate it. All right. Just get a Z9. LOL. Preach. I agree. I'm not giving a brand an evergreen video for YouTube content for a free product. You got to pay me unless I want that relationship. Big facts. Oh, y'all having personal conversations and such. All right, we talked about that. Yeah. All right. Buy a large cert. No. Rams won. Boo. Nah. My opinion's on the R5C. Bomb camera. I cannot wait to test that thing out. I just dropped a like everyday carry video a couple days ago. Similar to what's in my bag, but very true. R5C is what the R5 should have been. Facts. Thank you so much. San Fran in the house. Super chat from Stacy Morgan. What up, Stacy? I'm only me and you are important. But black or white, we're both important. Love and support from your YouTube wall family. Hey, facts. Like I said, I love seeing everybody grow. Whew. Yeah, I've heard. I don't have one. I want one. All right, thanks again for that super chat, man. I really appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna go through a couple more of these comments and then we gotta start wrapping this up. It's getting late. All right, let's see. I want to say, first of all, thank you to everybody that's been kicking it this whole time. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. We've been holding like 80 strong all night, and that's love. I know channels way bigger than this that can't hold this many people all night, so I appreciate y'all so much. There's no shade to nobody, but I'm just saying I appreciate y'all. DC, yeah, anytime. If anybody want to collab, man, we just got to make it happen. I'm vlogging with an A1 on everything. Flying a drone blast the NWA when the cops pull up, you wildin'. Do you know if the A7IV has noticeably better dynamic range than the A7III in harsh sunlight? For photos, it definitely has more dynamic range. For video, there's a lot of factors that go into that, but as a whole, yes, it does. Do you use a balance scale to set white balance on your drones? Honestly, I don't even set white balance on my drone. I just let it do its thing. Be honest with you. Drones usually get the white balance right. Since you have Sony's ear key, tell them we want ooh, this is a good one. Do you know why Sony went with the tabletop screen on the Alpha 1 because most photographers, and remember the Alpha 1 is a photographer. I'm getting tongue tied. The Alpha 1 is a photography based camera for serious pros and also people who do a lot of sports photography. Most photographers prefer the tabletop design versus the flip out. So that's how the monitor on the A1 ended up being a monitor on the A1. All right, let's get through a couple more comments. Jamie, what up? Do you think the Sony will really... I'm going to be honest. I think the RX line is low-key done. I think there will be another camera similar to the ZV-1 coming out. Rumors are already pointing to it, but I don't know. That RX-0 was definitely a different monster. I don't know. I didn't see much interest in that camera. I pretty much have had them all. I ended up with the A1 and the FX6, but I did let an S3. Okay. Bet. Oh, snap, my man Creative in the house. What up, brother? Good to see you. God bless everyone in the house. Shoot away. Which camera that is. Trinidad in the house. What's up? Think about starting a YouTube channel based on cameras currently. Hey, I'm going to just tell you this. The camera space is super niche. So don't come in here and don't come into the camera space expecting crazy growth like you would with like an Apple channel or a Samsung channel or something like that. So just keep that in mind. Not saying you can't do it, but you know, the growth is typically slower because we're more niched. I wonder what you actually carry though. Smith & Wesson, FN, Walther, Glock, PSA. Hey man, I got a couple, you know, got a couple. Don't talk about that on here. Yeah, you right. I got a high point, bro. I got the big high point 45. I got a couple, man. I got a couple big, couple small, couple, you know. All right, I'm gonna take one more question, and then we're gonna wrap this up. All right, last question. Would you recommend spending the extra $1,000 for the A7S III over the A7IV for video primarily? I would say if money is not an issue, if video is your focus, yes, I would. Yes, I would. For these reasons. Number one, roll and shutter performance is much better on the A7S III. If you make videos, roll and shutter is important. Number two, ability to shoot raw externally. A7IV cannot do that. Number three, no crop in 4K 60. Also, very minimal crop in 4K 120 frames per second. Also, the A7S III very rarely overheats, where the A7IV, I have heard, overheats for a lot of people. Hasn't for me yet, but so yeah, I would say it's the closest thing Sony has under $4,000 to no compromise video camera. Last question, last thing I want to say real quick. Hey, man, stop dissing the high points, man. You got to start somewhere. I know people with high points that got thousands of rounds through them. Hey, you want to get hit with one? Would you stand? You got so much. I don't have no high points. I'm just saying. Some people can't afford a nice Springfield Hellcat. Would I rather have a high point or nothing? I would rather have a high point. A7IV does have S in its own. But, hey, you gonna stand there and let somebody with a high point let one off on you? No, you not. So stop. Listen, hey, high point is better than nothing. Honestly, I'm looking at that Springfield Hellcat. I'm just a little leery on some of the issues I've been seeing. You know what else is looking real good? That Taurus GX4. I'm a Taurus. Hey, Taurus has stepped it up a lot over the years. But anyways, listen, it's almost midnight here. We've been on here all night. Let me just tell y'all before I hop off of here, thank you so much for y'all's support. I need everybody in this chat to go on Instagram right now. Get your phone out right now and add me on Instagram and Twitter. I'm on Twitter all day long talking. And I'm on Instagram all the time too. If you're in the chat, go on there and add me. I don't like the word follow. Follow to me makes it sound like I think I'm better than you. No, I'm not. Add me on there. I would love to see your face. Big shout out to everybody who came through tonight, stayed the whole time. Big shout out to everybody who couldn't stay the whole time. And big shout out to everybody who dropped the super chat tonight. This has been a long, hard journey for this YouTube channel. Finally crossing the road of 30K. And it's been quite the journey. And I'm so pumped to be here. I'm so pumped to have y'all here supporting this channel, supporting me. And all the super chats we got tonight was crazy. I really appreciate it. So, with that being said, next stream will probably be 30K, which should be happening probably in the next week or so. So we'll get on here and have some more coffee and stuff like that. But for now, I'm about to hop off of here. So till next time, I'm out of here. Much love, y'all. Links for everything I use in the description. Piece of chicken grease. Y'all know how I get down. Tight shirt, Terry. I'm out of here. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Peace.